Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. You are looking at an M53 M55, the Tier 9 American SPG, and we're located here on the west spawn of Airfield. And the name of the commander is ChaosWarlord. Now there's 2 marks of excellence in the barrel, and that takes some doing. And he's moving off to a firing position straight away. You see it's the What Arty Noobs colours with our logo on the side. That's thanks to Sir Rusty for doing that for us. Very nice little skin, this one, which is freely available from his Facebook page, so do pay it a visit because there's loads of other skins that make the tanks look very special. Now he's armed with an 8-inch howitzer because it doesn't extend over the front of the vehicle, the barrel, and that makes this an M55, the one used by the US Army. Because the M53, the one with the 155mm gun, was actually used by the US Marines, and we are now aiming at the enemy, and we're loaded. Well, just going through the field of view, there was a Tiger tank. Oh, fired a round out. Just relocating just a little. Right at the south edge of the map. Right, his target now is a Black Dog, an M4190 GF Grand Final. That's the light tank, the German light tank, which is based on the Walker Bulldog chassis, otherwise known as the Black Dog. And he's fired a round in there, and he's relocating straight away. We don't get any reports of any damage. Oh, not too far, because that rock, you'll fall over the edge. Now, the Black Dog does have a 90mm gun, which makes it very effective. Now he's looking at a bush in the northeast corner. Now, this is an area where tank destroyers go, and also some Arty. So he's looking for any tracer. Any tracer at all. Well, somebody fired in this direction, and that would tend to make me think that there's a tank destroyer in that bush. Because that would be the only reason why somebody would fire in that direction. So I reckon if he fires directly behind that bush, he'll hit somebody. He's looking overhead now for any tracer. And it's a little trick that Arty players use. You can turn off all visuals. It becomes much easier to see the tracer from enemy Arty. So you press your V key and the visuals disappear. And you can press your V key and it'll come back. And we can see here is an IS-3 retreating rapidly. He's trying to get back up to his own cap area. We fire a round ahead of him and splash him. He changed direction just at the last moment. Now, don't get too close to the edge or you'll fall over. That's it. Now, we've got a beautiful angle on the Lurva sitting in Heavy Tank Alley, with a Wizzy 11114 just around the corner, waiting for him to appear. But over here, we've got a Tiger 2, and he's in the south area. He's actually hiding in that little alcove, and he's trapped there because if he pulls out, the Type 4 Heavy is going to derp him from a distance. We fire a round in, and we get a lovely hit. 422 hit points of damage. So that Tiger 2 now is a one-shot, and he's been wiped out by the Type 4 Heavy the moment he came out of that little hole. Okay, we're dialing in on what appears to be the place for a Revelry. There he is, or ravioli as Jingles calls it. In fact, actually they were called raviolis by some of the French. Surprising as that might seem. Round out. Direct hit. 470 hit points, 2 critical hits. A lovely shot there. Now, ooh, careful. Yeah. That's the only unfortunate thing about this south side of the map. The rocks are very uneven and you could easily slip over the edge. I've done that actually by accident. Didn't mean to do it, but that's what's made me very cautious about sitting on that corner now. Because if you do sit on the corner, right on the edge, there's a chance you might fall over the edge into the water. And then you do. Well, he fires around in where he expects the enemy Arty to be, and we see an explosion in the distance, but I doubt that actually did anything. And he's relocated to find a new spot. Now we're looking for where those enemy tanks were seen in the heavy tank alley. There's supposedly there's a few tanks there, an IS-3, a Lerva, but we found a T-54 instead. Oh, there's a 50 TP. That's a heavy tank, and he was obviously looking through that bush at that moment. But the Waffenträger on the enemy team just killed our LT-432. We fire at the T-54 and splash him. Got 326 hit points of splash there. Okay, he's moved forward into a little spot. I think he's happy here. Right, I suspect... Yep, there's the Lerva. I was going to say, I suspect that that 50 TP's gone back to the bush again. We're getting ready to shoot the Lerva. Round out. Oh, it went to one side. The RNG sent the shell to one side. It didn't go where we expected it to go. Went slightly to the right, and in doing so, we missed the Lerva. It went long as well. Okay, we're still waiting for the reload to go through. The T-54 is still there. There's an IS-3 badly damaged. We can splash kill him. Unfortunately, he's the other side of the rock at the moment. We'd have to relocate quite massively to get a shot on him. The M103's gone around that side as well. Oh, IS-3's dead. Now, if the Lerva is still there, he will be sitting just slightly to the left of where that last shell fell. There's the 50 TP. You see, he keeps going back to that bush. He keeps going back to that bush. So really, in a sense, he should be punished for doing that. He was seen, and he pulled back behind the rock. So I reckon any second now, once he's unspotted, he'll pop out again, go into the bush, and we fire a bush round into the bush. Now, we've relocated. And that's a nice little firing position there. Now we're aiming for that T-54 on Temple Mount. I call it Temple Mount, as many of you may know, because there's a couple of ruined temples with columns on that area, plus the amphitheatre. And I always think that's indicative of a temple, and Roman temple. Oh, hit the rock face, but still stunned the Lerva. But we lost the Wizzy 11114. He was taken out by the Borsig. And there's no sign of a Borsig, which would indicate that he's probably on that rock. In fact, actually, the Lerva has just indicated, or it's the Wizzy 111 just indicated, that the Rheinmetall Borsig is in grid square D9, which is up on that little height overlooking this corridor. And the Object 430 just took out the Lerva, so maybe a good idea. Oh, there's the 50 TP. Again, he was spotted and pulled back behind the rock. Right, we've got a Striv S1, the Swedish tank destroyer, lining up for a shot. If he stays where he is, he's going to be dead. Round out. That landed right behind him. And yes, he's lost a lot of hit points and he's stunned. He won't survive another shot. He'll get hit by the Arty round and that'll be it. He'll be out the way. Oh, he's gone. In fact, actually, he did get hit by the M53 round. I think from one direction, and then he was taken out by the T-32. Right, well, there's the Jagdtiger, so we can put a round into him. Round out, it's pulled back, oh, splashed him. And that stunned him. I think it tracked him as well at the same time. They've all got shots into him. There's the Rheinmetall Borsig. Yeah, as indicated by the Wizzy 11114, he is up on that little heights. And I did think about, you know, suggesting that he should go and aim around at D9. Because it appears that tank destroyer, which is very lightly armoured tank destroyer, so he could do a lot of damage to it. And the shell lands there where the Borsig was last seen. If he is there, he's obviously lost a lot of hit points. If he moved to a different bush, he might have only received some splash. But tank destroyers tend to be creatures of habit, so they tend to go to the same bush every time, and there's a good chance that that round did do some damage to him. And the other M53, 55 is also firing at the same position. With 3 tanks ahead on the enemy, we fired a round in. So we're 3 tanks ahead on the enemy at the moment, but there's only 4 minutes 45 seconds left on the clock, so we do need to get a move on because there's still 7 enemy tanks out there. So we're aiming for the bush where the 50 TP was seen, and what happens? But we can see a Striv 1030 off to the east, up on the heights. That's the tier 9 version. Round out. You see the round explode in the sky. I think that's just a bug in the game actually. The round would have hit the ground, it wouldn't have just exploded in the sky. Okay, looking at that place where the 50 TP keeps looking out from that bush. And we can't get an angle that will enable us to shoot over that rock. Not from this direction. We'd need to go to a completely different firing position. We're now aiming for where the black dog was last seen. And if he's still there, he's probably been badly damaged by that. At least he would be stunned. Now we're getting requests to shoot at the Striv, which is in grid square J9. And I think that was because the charioteer just got hit by a round from him. Either that or the black dog. The black dog's moving up to look. Okay, if we go for that position. Dialing in. Ready to go. And there's the Striv. He moved. Round out. This should hit him. Oh, it fell short. RNG was very unkind to us. The round fell well short of the target. It only stunned the Striv, but unfortunately we lost the black dog. The other M53 fired in, or the other M55 fired in, and he didn't get it either. 2 minutes 36 seconds left on the clock. If we don't get a move on soon, this is going to end up as a draw. As I say, there's still 7 enemy tanks out there, and they're well dug in. Got to remember that Borsig in grid square D9. Yep, he's going back to that spot again. It'd be worth a shot. He's only got 2 rounds left. Premium ammo. He's indicated where he's looking. Yeah, that's the 2-minute hooter. The trouble is the enemy's got that M103 and that 50 TP in a position that prevents our Tiger II, T32 and Type 4 Heavy from moving forward. And if they could move forward, then obviously they could probably get at the Borsig and also at the Black Dog. But as it stands right now, they're heavily entrenched, so to speak, and not much can be done. And so until we get rid of those that Borsig and the Striv 103, this is very much looking as if it's going to be a stalemate. Can't see the 103 or the 50 TP. I think that 50 TP has been to that bush more times than... there he is. He is still there. Round out. And this time we've got a piece of him. Only 124 hit points, but we've only got 1 round left. And there's 1 minute to go. And we are reloading. We will get that shot out, I should think, before the end of the game, but I don't think this is going to be a win. In fact, now there are still 6 enemies to kill. We did kill the Striv 103. Our charioteer's moving in on the enemy cap. So's an object 430. There's the M103. Okay, so we've spotted one of the enemy tanks. And we're loaded. Dialed in. Round out. Direct hit, 508 hit points. It's going to be useful for our score, but unfortunately I don't think we can win this now. 20 seconds left to go. They can't camp out in time. The object 430 is too far away from the cap. Charioteer, well, he's on his own. They killed the 103. That's 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. That's it. We've run out of time. It's a draw. They did manage to find the enemy Arty just at the last moment, but and killed him. But unfortunately, it's... Oh, that's the wrong page. That's the right page. It was an ace tanker for ChaosWarlord in the M53-55. He also picked up a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 20. He got a Gore's medal for doing more damage than 10 times the hit points of his own vehicle. A Confederate for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else. And he didn't get a single kill during that game, but he did touch a lot of the enemy tanks. And a High Calibre for dealing the most damage in the battle overall. And he certainly did deal a lot of damage. And we can tell from this that he did hit that Borsig. He got 312 hit points of damage to the Borsig when he fired that round in blind on the bush. So it did work. You know, and he did also, of course, get damage to the Striv for 401 hit points. So that shell that went astray towards the end of the game, he wasn't the only shot that he actually got on the Striv. He did hit it. He actually did hit it with that shot he fired into the bush blind. So that's useful to know. On the Black Dog side, he actually did 621 hit points of damage. It's not showing that he hit it more than once, but I suspect he did. I suspect he splashed it more than once, but 621 hit points. That's nearly 2/3 of the hit points of that vehicle. So he did considerable damage to it, and he also did 3 critical hits to it as well. Stunned it twice. So yes, he did hit it more than once. So it's useful to have that information towards the end of this game. So let's have a look at the team score. Well, if we look at the team score, we can see he's top of the table with damage, 4,859 hit points of damage overall. The 50 TP kept going back to that bush. He managed to get 3,657 hit points by using that bush to maximum effect to hit enemy tanks that went up onto Temple Mount. The next highest scorer was the Striv 1030, the one at the back that was causing the problems, 3497 by him. And then the other M53-55, who was actually an M55, he on our team managed to get 3,307 hit points. When it came to kills, well, unfortunately, ChaosWarlord didn't get any kills at all. He was well down the table there. The high scorer was the Object 430. He managed to get 3, and so did the 50 TP. He got 3. The next high scorer is 2 kills apiece. When it came to base XP, it was ChaosWarlord who got the top there. He managed to get 794 base experience points. Then came the Object 430 with 554, and the M53-55 with 459 on his own team. The 50 TP was the high score on the enemy team with 475. So let's have a look at the detail report. Well, he fired all 19 rounds of ammunition he had in that magazine. He got 3 direct hits, 3 penetrations, and 17 splash. Damage of 4,859 hit points, all at more than 300 meters. He did damage 13 of the enemy, so there was only 2 enemy tanks he didn't touch, and those were actually the enemy Arty, because he never had a chance to find out where they were. He wasn't Arty hunting, actually. He was spending most of his time trying to damage the enemy tanks who were holding back his team. So yes, 13 hits on the enemy. That means he hit every non-SPG member of the enemy team. He did 3,363 hit points of stun assist of 20 stuns in total. So it shows 20 stuns. I always thought there was 20 rounds of ammunition in the M55. And I think I'm going to have to check that to find out if I'm right. Because I've always assumed it was 20 rounds of ammo. It is. It's according to this, yes. So I'm a bit surprised that it's actually showing 19 up there, 19 shots. But anyway, so let's have a look. It has, on a standard account, he received 49,851 credits, got 25,000 credits for personal missions payout, got 3,725 for the achievements. That's for getting an epic medal in a losing or a drawing team. and that brought up a total of 78,576. But because he used premium ammo during that game, his ammo costs were considerably higher than normal, and in fact actually he ended up with a loss of 4,864 credits on the game overall. If he'd actually had a premium account, he would have had a positive balance. He would have received 21,924 credits to take away. On the XP side, he earned 794 base XP, got 465 for the Achievements Award for getting an epic medal, and also got a personal missions payout of 1,260. So he took away 2,519 experience points altogether. So an ace tanker on a draw, but a very good one in terms of the fact that you're getting the Gore's medal, the Confederate, and the High Calibre all together, and that's pretty good because it's difficult on a draw game to actually get as much damage as you can unless you're a very good Arty player and you're pumping out the shells as to do the maximum effect you can. And of course, as you saw in that game, he did do plenty of blind shots on that Black Dog, on the Rheinmetall Borsig, and also on the Striv, and they all worked beautifully. So they did do some damage, although they didn't get a kill. So if you enjoyed this replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.